I'm Craig Hignett and you're watching Mariners TV.
So maybe it wasn't as straightforward as you would like tonight, but 3-2 victory through to the next round. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think we'll obviously take the win and we'll move on to Saturday. I think tonight was there was too many players out there tonight who looked like they weren't as motivated or as as sharp as what they should be, to be honest. We've tried something a little bit different in the first half. We've tried a different shape with 3 at the back, and just to experiment with something. We did the same thing last year, in our Durham Challenge Cup run, and ended up incorporating a new shape which served us well over the last 12 months, playing a diamond in midfield. So we took the opportunity tonight to try something a little bit different, and to be honest with you, in the first half I thought there was some really good aspects of our playing, some really poor stuff. There wasn't a lot in between. It was either really good or really poor. And then we kind of moved to a more familiar shape in the second half, or one that we've used, just in last Saturday's game. And I thought we actually got worse as the game went on, and it was quite frustrating from the sidelines. But yeah, we'll take the win, and but we're going to have to be a lot better on Saturday, that's for sure.
I guess one of the really pleasing things about the day would have been Andrew Stevens' hat-trick, and the third goal was a real high quality one.
Yeah, I think Andrew will be the first to admit that since he's been here at the club, he hasn't scored nearly as many goals as somebody of his quality should have done. But I mean, that third goal was really special, and just underlines the talent and quality that Andrew's got. Like I say, it's just frustrating sometimes that we don't see it as often as we possibly should.
You can say when he shows something like that, though, it shows it's worth persevering with a talent like that, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's why we brought him to the football club in the first place. But yes, hopefully that'll give Andrew a little bit of confidence. And although having said that, he may have just slightly tweaked his hamstring, and that's why we brought him off midway through the second half.
You're at the quarterfinals of this competition now as well. It's a competition you won last season, so you must be highly motivated to go as far as you possibly can again. We
said before the game that it's a different focus for us, and really it's now it's our second. I would say it's our second priority. Obviously, we're no longer in any of the FA Cup competitions. So aside from the league, it's our next priority. And again, I generally thought, and I think Graham generally thought, that wasn't really reflected in a lot of the performances tonight.
We know what sort of momentum a cup run can have as well, from last season, don't we? So it's important to sort of be on top of your game in these sort of occasions, isn't it?
Every game's an opportunity. We keep saying that. Every game's an opportunity to stick your neck out and show how much you want to be at this football club, how much you want to be in the team. And again, that's a disappointing thing, because that's a message that we've been really clear with and consistent with ahead of every game. And there were some good performances. I thought Barry Smith was the pick of the bunch, and Barry, with his performance tonight, it makes it nigh on impossible for me and Graham to leave him out on Saturday, and that's the kind of performance that we want from players. Whereas there's maybe a handful of other players who've gone the other way and put real doubts in our mind ahead of selection for Saturday's game.
You mentioned Barry there, he seems to be getting better and better this season, doesn't he? Has he caught you by surprise with his consistency so far?
Hasn't come as a surprise. We see him every week, and it's he's just his attitude and his mentality. If we could clone that, then we've generally got fantastic attitudes in that dressing room, and that's why we've been successful as we have been. But Barry's one of these players that right now, whenever he plays, it looks like he's playing like it's the last time he'll ever play football, and that's a great mentality to have. And you can just sense all the time how much it means to him to be at this football club, and that's really hard to ignore.
Move on to Saturday now. Trafford is an opponent that we had a hard time against at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Are you expecting a similar sort of game on Saturday against them?
100%. Yeah, you know, it was a really tough encounter down at their place opening day, and there was obviously a little bit of niggle there in the game, and it's going to be a tough game, and if there's no two ways about it. If we perform at the level that we performed at tonight, then we're going to walk away from the game with nothing to show for it. So we're going to have to really get ourselves, you know, find that motivation, which for whatever reason didn't seem to be there with some players tonight. We're going to have to find that motivation ahead of Saturday's game, because like I say, it's going to be a real tough game.
Just finally on Trafford, I know you mentioned at the start of the season you expect them to be in the playoff push and they started to get towards that position now.
Yeah, no, they had a real poor start of the season, you know, for the you know, the quality of players that they've got in their squad, and they have picked up, you know, over the last 10 games or so. Although having said that, in the last game they took, you know, they conceded 5 against Hyde, and you know, if we, as tough a game as it's going to be, if we can get our levels right and get ourselves prepared properly, then, you know, we can, as we showed on Saturday, that, you know, we can score goals against anybody at this level, and that's hopefully what we'll do.